Time tracking shouldn't be time consuming. With Netchex, you can have clock in confidence, whether your employees are punching on mobile, the web, or a hardware clock. With Mobile Punch, we make it easy for employees to find exactly what they need. And to ensure that they're where they're supposed to be when they punch, you've got a few options. Some companies elect for a geofence. We'll show you how this works, but imagine just drawing a circle or a square around your property. If the employee is standing in that circle or square, great, they can punch. If they're outside of it, the punch is rejected. Now, if your employees kind of travel or go different places, we've also got a punches on a map option where we'll just stamp where the employee was at the time of the punch. Other companies we work with also have the need to be able to track which cost center or job an employee might be working on a given day or shift. With customizable departments and job codes, you can give your employees the opportunity to select what they're working, whether that's a particular job or location, so labor is allocated to the right cost centers in payroll and the general ledger. And with flexible options to start their day, end the day, go to lunch, we give you the options you need to capture time accurately. Don't want your employees to punch for lunch? No problem. We can set up an auto lunch rule to automatically deduct the 30 or 60 minutes for lunch. And that time's flexible as well. You can select how long a lunch break you'd like your employees to take. One thing we find is that employees have a habit of forgetting to punch. Now, I know your employees would never do that, but some people we talk to, their employees may forget to punch in on a given day. Netchex helps by making it easy for employees to request a correction to their time card. Forgot to punch in, punched out, and then your boss asked you to stay late? No problem. We'll automatically alert the employee that they've got the missed punch in their card. And then as an employee, I can simply submit a request to my manager asking them to go ahead and correct that punch for me. Now, the managers don't have to chase down the employee to find out, hey, what time did you leave on Tuesday? Payroll's not chasing down managers on payroll day, trying to get all of the missed punches corrected. We're staying on top of all of that all throughout the week, right inside the Netchex mobile app. Now, if your employees don't punch on mobile, that's totally fine too. The desktop punch experience is very similar. Now, keep in mind, employees can punch right in just from the home screen. They don't actually have to log in, but the desktop punch experience, very much the same. The employees have similar options to select the job that they're working and go ahead and complete that punch. So now we've looked at how employees punch in, how they suggest a correction or ask for a time punch correction. The other side of this is managing time that's not worked, whether that's paid or unpaid time off. Netchex makes it easy. We're very flexible when it comes to plans, plan design, how much time an employee accrues, and based off of their seniority, it automatically awards the time to the employees. Employees can easily click in to see the details of their plan. One thing in particular I want to point out is we also show the forecasted balance. I may not have time today to request off for 3 months from now, like if it's the beginning of the year and I'm planning my summer vacation, but I'll have that time by the time the summer rolls around. We want to show employees their forecasted amount as well. When it comes time to actually submit the request, it's pretty simple. Employees just select the type of time they're going to use, let us know the dates that they'd like to request off. Maybe I need a long weekend here. And then submit the request to their manager. Managers are automatically alerted with a text and email, and they have access to see everything they need before approving or declining the request. In fact, we'll look at that and how managers review and approve time cards in just a second. Similar to employees, managers use the mobile app for a lot of the things they need to do, like approving time cards or PTO requests. In fact, those are the most common things that we see managers doing. Now, alerts automatically go out for things like, hey, you've got a pending punch request or a missed punch or a PTO request. We'll also look at the who's in and out dashboard that lets you stay on top of labor as we get into the scheduling videos. But for our purposes today, let's look at the most common features managers use with time and attendance, which is reviewing and approving time cards. Maybe at the end of the week or at the end of the pay period, we ask our managers to come in and just review the time for all of their employees and then go ahead and approve it, letting us know, hey, this time is good to go for payroll. For managers, some of the things they might want to look at might be, hey, I just want to see things for my direct reports, or maybe I'm just looking at the missing punches, or the pending punch requests, which might actually clear our missing punches for us. It's easy for a manager to review punch requests. If you remember, we actually submitted one as an employee, and then here we're able to come in, review, and approve that punch request. So looks like he forgot to punch out. No problem. We'll go ahead and approve that. And that automatically takes care of the missed punch for our employee. Now I can see the whole entire time card for the week. Obviously, click in if I need to see the details of every single punch, and then simply just approve that time saying, yep, hey, I've looked at it as the supervisor, as the manager, and that looks correct for this employee. The other piece of this that managers might do is simply just approve their PTO requests. And it's easy for a manager. Of course, again, they're getting those PTO request alerts in their email. They're getting a text message. It's also showing on their dashboard. And what we want to do is give them everything they need to review and approve those requests. First, they'll have a nice calendar view where they can see everyone who's off on a given day, and then just toggle over to a request. So looks like Brad's requesting off on the 25th and the 26th. He's definitely got enough time to be able to take it. But before I approve it, I just want to see if there's anybody else that's going to be out on those days. Looks like Vonnie's out on the 25th and she's out on the 26th, but no real big deal there because actually Vonnie and Brad don't work the same jobs. And so I'll still have enough coverage even if both of them are out. And so as a manager, I'll simply come over to the request and go ahead and approve that. That's going to then send a text back to Brad, and it also puts that approved vacation time on his time card. So that way we can ensure we're getting those hours to payroll and effectively updating Brad's balance. So we've looked at how employees are punching in, how we're calculating the time, giving managers access to review and approve time cards for the people they supervise. As an administrator, of course, you're going to have all that same access to the time cards to review, edit, approve a time card for an employee. So very similar to managers. I think the big difference is you have access to more employees. Now, of course, a lot of our admins are doing this on the desktop experience. You can do it on mobile, just like a manager. We just have a little more real estate, so you'll be able to easily review all the punches that an employee's recorded for the week. Of course, click in to be able to edit or change a punch for an employee, make an addition to their time card. You'll also have access to all of the reporting to stay on top of things like overtime costs, or if you just need to look at, hey, show me my hours for each department or each cost center, so you can easily start to keep up with what your labor cost looks like. Now, ultimately, all of this needs to get to payroll. We're collecting time so that we can appropriately pay employees. One of the things that we find is that sometimes the time cards can hold up the payroll processing. Hey, I'm ready to do payroll, but maybe my managers haven't approved their time cards. Or maybe I've got some unapproved PTO requests that are out there. Well, instead of having to wait until processing day and then go to multiple places in the system to try and find this, Netchex has put together a really nice payroll readiness dashboard that lets you as an admin take action against these items at any time. So maybe I don't even process payroll till next week, but I have 8 missing punches for my employees. I want to go ahead and notify them all so they can get their punch requests in. Managers can get those approved before it's time for payroll. Maybe it's time for payroll and I still have some pending punch requests out there. I've already notified my approvers. It's time for me to just take some action. Right from the dashboard, you'll be able to go ahead and approve those punch requests if maybe the manager hasn't, and this is starting to hold up payroll. So the payroll readiness dashboard brings all of your time and attendance outstanding items into one place where you can easily see, review, and take action against them before they become an issue on payday. Now, there's a couple of other items that I want to quickly point out for you that I touched on, but I want to make sure we have a good understanding of. Particularly, I wanted to just touch quickly on geofence and on punches on a map. With the geofence, we're really just creating a geofence around a particular location. And so maybe I have a location that I wanted to geofence and say, hey, as a chiropractor and as a practitioner, I really want to make sure my employees are in office when they're punching in. No problem. I'll simply draw a shape around the building that says, hey, I want to make sure that you are actually in the building when you're punching. Give that a name, and then assign it to the appropriate groups or terminals that will be using that location. And so in this case, if the employee's phone is pinging inside of the geofence, excellent. We'll let them punch in. If their geofence is pinging them, on the highway, trying to get to work still, we're going to say, ba-bum, sorry, you're not in the geofence. You can't punch from here. Now, geofence is great when I have a single location or maybe a few locations where employees will generally be when they're punching. They need to be at the hotel. They need to be in the restaurant. They need to be at the clinic. But sometimes I have employees that work in multiple locations, and I don't always necessarily know what that location is going to be. And this is where the punch map really comes into play. You can select whatever date range you want. I'm going to go back in time because I have some punch data in this time frame that we can show here. And really what we're doing is we're saying, hey, during this time frame, show me where employees were when they punched in. And so instead of, hey, I'm pre-creating a location, now I'm saying, hey, just show me the location where the employee was when they punched. You'll have the ability to click in and drill into that and see the exact punch. Hey, Troy punched in on this day at this time from this location. And you can see each one of those punches listed out individually. Now, of course, if you want to use some filters to drill down into that and see, hey, where was this one employee or where was this group of employees, change the date range. Of course, we're able to set up those filters for you and let you really dig into the details. And so as we look at the mobile punch, we want to make sure that employees are where they're supposed to be when they punch, whether it's from their phone and a geofence, from their phone with a punch map, or if it's from a computer with an IP restriction. And don't forget, we've also got great options for you. If you want employees to punch in from a hardware clock, all of those punches flow to the time card just like they would from a web punch or mobile. So, hey, I hope you have found this to be helpful to understand all of the time options with Netchex. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you have clock-in confidence, whether employees are punching in with geofence, punch rules, putting in a missed punch request, or having managers approve it. We want you to have clock-in confidence for all employees from all their devices. The built-in compliance automatically helps you track wage and hour laws, accruals, and meal breaks, and punch accuracy without spreadsheets or surprises so that you can take control of time tracking without the chaos. Netchex helps you stay accurate, compliant, and flexible no matter where your employees are when they punch. Until next time, bye for now.